So with the last week, the Imperials have stormed the Kashyyyk village and have came out successful. The group has been gathered on the main meeting gantry here, and the remaining Wookiees have been gathered and are slowly being boarded onto the AT-ATs for extraction. And groups of stormtroopers begin making their ways up into the upper parts of the village here and begin lighting the thatched roofs to eliminate this place and also draw out whatever remaining hidden people that may be hiding in the trees. And so yeah, we're going to get started right back on what's happening in the Night Sister. The fact is the door is closed at this point, and we have a group of 3 stormtroopers keeping guard outside.
Riker, do you happen to smell that?
What?
Smells like victory.
I suppose so.
Quite frankly, I think it was a well-played move on our part.
It seems our crew has been shaved down a few members.
Well, yes, of course, that just means more reward for us. Although, I was under the impression that the Imperials had captured Krell, and we can negotiate for his release.
If they know who he is, that'll be pretty difficult.
Well, we did quite a bit of good work for them. I'm sure we can make something happen. Oh, yes, Wookiee. How go the repairs?
So mind code. So the Wookiee tells Mr. Mac's character here, who's not present today, that the ship should be fully functional and he wishes to return with his people now for the extradition.
I'll whisper into
He makes his way towards the door.
Geraldo's ears, saying that now's the time to take him. I'll make him your nice coat now.
You say it's fully functional. Show me. Did you add the modifications that I requested?
Turns back to the door.
Hold on. We negotiated that you would do some work on the engines. Come on, you can't leave if you haven't actually done it, have you?
Okay, so he walks over there. Minutes later.
I would just say I'll do a medicine check to see how good the coat is, I would say.
A medicine check? Okay.
I would say medicine would be for the skinning of him, right? would be medicine.
Yeah, if he attacks a dirty
Riker
check.
would open... He'd head over to the doors and open them. Here outside.
Okay, alright.
And try to get the attention of the stormtrooper.
Okay, Riker, you have the troopers are standing there.
Riker's gonna walk down the platform a little bit and try to hail them over.
Alright.
So it's just 2 straight success.
That's a pretty nice coat, right?
So one of the troopers approaches you and he's like, "Stay on the ship."
Sir, there's a Wookiee on board. I believe you'd want to take him as prisoner.
Do I hear you saying, what I hear you saying is okay on board?
You can give me a difficult perception check as well.
No, I think we'd be too busy to hear him say that.
Yeah, fair enough, I wouldn't, I mean.
Yeah, you guys are hacking and slashing like psychos.
No, this is skillfully done, this is. It's not hacking and slashing.
Okay, so we'll check it out. And he points over and the stormtroopers begin walking up. They radio it in that they're moving forward, and several more begin coming down. So we have 3 of them come on board.
So as they round the corner, they'll see me kind of holding up the skin and like obviously just the body next to it. I'm like holding up to the skin next to Geraldo, measuring it out, getting it nice and right size.
Oh, you've already killed him? Oh, fucking rip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're narratively doing that just to move it forward.
Geraldo just stands there with his hands on his hips, like, yes, that looks fantastic. Here, there's a little bit of giblet there, but that'll be... Oh, excuse me. Hello, officers.
Yeah, we had reports of here that there was a Wookiee on board.
Yes, there was.
The trooper just looks over and he's like, "Dear God, what's going on here?"
Well, you see, he resisted,
So he cut off his skin.
He's the trooper just steps over and he motions for Geraldo. He's like, "You against the wall." And the other guys come in and the troopers move around and droid, put down the pelt.
Only if I can keep it.
Drop the pelt, droid. Drop it.
No, go ahead, drop it.
I'll put it down, man. I'll put it down neatly, though.
Just folds it.
Yeah. Along the creases that I want in it.
Okay, so they look at each other like they're gonna have to report this in, obviously. So they begin doing communications and stuff, and more troopers show up, and the place is starting to take a smell on. You know, like obviously there'd be some sort of the Wookiee would obviously let off something as they're killing this thing off, and the stress of this whole scene. So there'd be a smell of a dead Wookiee in the area, and honestly I don't know what the troopers would do. This is such a crazy situation.
I didn't know you'd already done it. Oh my god.
Just a photo around in the corner and there's me just like
Caught
in
dick
the
in
body,
hand.
just like, hello.
I think, like, I mean, they hate the Wookiees, but it's just like the hatred was taken so far.
All right, so they want you guys to get the body off, and they're going to confiscate the skin as well because they feel it's inappropriate. But I also feel that to keep things diplomatic, they know that they're not going to show, not going to come walking out like, "Hey, look what these guys did," and hold the skin up for the Wookiees all in the gantry. I mean, we're going to have, Battle Part 2 start.
As they do start to try to take the skin away, Geraldo will step forward. He'll be like, "But wait, I'm about to meet your ship's captain. I wanted to take the time to create a fantastic gift for her." I'll do a charm check, trying to convince him to let us keep it.
Yes.
Oh, they're thoroughly charmed.
All right then. Get this body off of here, though. You're not traveling up to the Star Destroyer with that body on here.
Yes, sir, of course, sir. Unless, perhaps, has she eaten?
She? Who's she?
Your captain, sir.
She's not going to eat a Wookiee. Come on, move along.
Of course, just checking. Well, if you say so.
So you can see one of the troopers. He turns down and pulls his helmet off, starts gagging.
Geraldo's just absolutely 100% unmoved by this. He just grabs the Wookiee by the legs and starts taking him out.
The
Riker
troopers.
kind of steps back as he does so. He's just so fucking confused right now.
There's a big blood trail dragging through the whole place. Is Geraldo's like whistling while he works type thing.
Yeah, I can just imagine like opening the dock and just like letting his body roll as he just like casually turns around and whistles.
Kicks it
Dust
off
his hands off.
Kicks it off the upper corner of the landing ramp. You're to stay here until further notice. You're the captain of the Excelsior. She'll be contacting you soon enough. But try not to skin each other. It's getting weird.
I can't wear him. He's too small.
Okay, so you can put on your Wookiee pelt then, if you will. We'll go on to what's happening over with Miles here.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange.
Ooh.
Wookiees, natives of Kashyyyk. You will be taken to the Excelsior for further processing, and then you will be moved on to other facilities to begin your training. We'll have you now board in an orderly fashion onto the side of the AT-AT. Then they steps back and waving his hands.
Move along.
So you see the Wookiees are letting out their roars and drones, making their way onto the ship. So Miles, you can go ahead. I'm just gonna let you RP what you're doing, but you're slowly getting moved forward with them.
I thought you said natives. I mean,
Well.
literally, I assume it's-
Well, you're wearing skins and stuff, and they're just kind of throwing you in. They don't know what you're gonna do with you, but you're getting processed with them.
Let's see. Is there anybody who I mean, like, by any chance? Or, I mean, they all have their helmets on, so I doubt I could even tell if I even knew anybody. So that's.
It's also been how many years too since you?
It's been like 4 years. That is true.
Yeah, so there's probably a lot of new recruits here.
I guess I would try to avoid these eyes, and I just look around.
So as you're sitting there, you see the chief walk by, and he just looks back towards the Night Sister as they start making their way on.
I'm gonna see if I can just like sort of just make my way past the Wookiee crowd and just walk up to these troopers.
Trooper holds his hand up. No, get on board.
No. I'm gonna like point behind them and kind of like gonna start a speech. I'll just say, I'm with them.
Who's them?
Shit, do I know their names? Oh, come on. Oh.
Geraldo introduced himself.
Oh yes. Fancy man Geraldo. I'd be like stabbing my fingers trying to remember the name.
Yeah, well, you can be processed with the Wookiees. We'll see on the Excelsior.
Oh, and then I guess then in great shame I was falling onto the AT-AT.
The chief puts his arm around you, and tries to calm you down as you guys walk up onto the AT-AT and take your seat.
Oh.
After everyone's loading here, you guys would see that the AT-AT, you hear the sounds, the booming foot thuds as it begins firing up. Obviously they've loaded. The forest is now ablaze above you. The whole trees are all lit up. Everything is just burning. They're literally burning the village. You see a few of the straggler Wookiees jumping from the trees in flames as they've been trying to hide out, but few of them swing by and the troopers just shoot them off their ropes as they're swinging. You hear the comms come alive.
Geraldo and the Spooky Bunch.
Yes, this is Lieutenant Abrams of the Excelsior. You are to fly towards the Star Destroyer and rendezvous in the main hangar bay. Do you understand this?
Absolutely.
You will have an escort of 2 TIEs coming to greet you. They will form up on your wing and escort you to the Star Destroyer.
Yes, of course, we'll keep our shields and weapons deactivated.
Very well, Excelsior out.
Come on, Riker, it's time for an adventure.
He'd mutter a little bit, but head on towards the cockpit.
Yes, WD, start the curing process. So, Geraldo sits down in the co-pilot seat, and he kicks his legs up on the dashboard, and he leans back, reaches a hand over, and starts to mess around with the sound system. Just toying with it awkwardly. Riker would note that he smells like raw meat and is covered in blood.
Narratively, you get the ship going, and you guys lift off. But you can just give me the piloting check, I guess, in this case, for the actual flight all the way up to the Excelsior.
I think this might be a bluesy moment. Not for us, of course.
Success.
Okay, so you guys, you look down below, you see the AT-AT walking, thudding through the forest below, knocking trees over as she goes. And you get a real sense of the battle damage as you see the flames of the trees and actually starting to ignite. The whole area of the forest is starting to go up. You begin climbing up through the blue sky, looking back across the green. 2 TIEs come in onto your sides, and they form up on your wings there. Captain Geraldo, we're here to escort you in. Please make your way to the given coordinates of the Excelsior.
Of course. We'll rendezvous momentarily.
ties peel off. You hear them squealing down, and they begin in formation. And you guys see lots of ships coming and going from the planet. But you bring the ship in slowly, and she starts crawling through the magnetic field. Okay, so you guys can make your way towards the exit, and as you do so, the door comes down. The blasts of steam shoot down from the sides, and you see your escort waiting here for you. So this one command officer walks forward. Which one of you is Captain Geraldo?
That would be me, sir.
I am Lieutenant Abrams. Welcome to the Excelsior. I am to take you to meet Captain Jin.
Yeah, Geraldo's picked up the pelt. And has draped it over his shoulders like a cape. Thank you, sir. Your escort is much appreciated. And, might I say, my good companion here, he places a hand on Riker's shoulder. He was wounded grievously in the battle. I believe he needs to... He looks at Riker suddenly. Do you feel the need to see the medical bay now, or are you willing to come with us?
I'd prefer to come with you.
Yes, of course. We can wait.
Very well then. Follow me and walk and keep up. So he begins walking. And then he stops for a second. He looks over at these crew right here, and he's like, I want a full scan of this ship. I'm like, yes, sir. And they begin carrying cargo up into the ship.
Don't mind the blood.
They just look at you and grimace as they walk by. Okay. Moving through the immense ship is a long ordeal. With Lieutenant Abram and stormtroopers escorting you along the way, you make your way through many sterile and long corridors, filled with Imperial droids and ship's personnel. Most give you a look of distaste as you move past. The turbolift ride seems to go quick, though. It'll be easy to get turned around in a ship of this size, even for the most astute cartographer. You stop counting how many stormtroopers and officers you pass early in your journey. After some time, you find yourself looking out into space once more, passing a large window. You see Kashyyyk hanging there with many smaller Imperial craft coming and going. You've made it to the bridge. The place reeks with professionalism and discipline, everything one would expect from a well-oiled machine like the Empire. The turbo lift to the left opens, and there stands Miles, along with two stormtroopers. One of the prisoners from the planet's surface, sir, said the stormtrooper in a muffled voice. Please join your friends, Abram motions to him.
He gestures to Miles. Did you make sure to disinfect him? We wouldn't want any unwanted planetary diseases on board, would we?
What would Miles think of him wearing the Wookiee coat as well?
I was about to say, so you have that cape on, right?
Oh yeah, you see the Wookiee's
yeah.
head like draped over his shoulder, and you recognize who it is.
I'd walk up here, and I guess I just stare at it without trying to make any expression, because I know if I try anything, I'll probably be killed on sight. That's the only chance I got.
Okay, so Abrams makes his way out onto the deck here. You're left just standing there with the stormtroopers looking on.
Geraldo will approach. He'll put a hand on Miles's shoulder. Are you all right? They didn't do anything particularly uncouth to you, did they? They didn't make you their tree, did they?
It's just locking gaze, not saying anything.
He leans in real close. He rides up right on you as he starts to lead you with us.
Right.
I know that you are close friends with my friend here. He gently pats the coat.
He's intercepted by these two deck officers. They hold their hand up. They're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! No,
I'm not
no
going.
one's allowed on the deck."
I wave to them and I back up. I'm done. No.
They push you back out.
He staggers back.
Okay, so you guys see in the distance, you see the Captain or Lieutenant Abrams talking to the female. She's looking out, and she's talking back and forth with the deck officers in the pit. And you see her look over her shoulder and look back towards you. A little smirk. You see a little smirk crosses her lip. Which one of you is Captain Geraldo?
That would be me. I assume that you are Captain Jin, am I correct?
That is correct. I am Jin, Captain of the Excelsior.
I must say, you're even more radiant than I imagined.
Yes.
I was looking forward to docking my ship in your landing bay ever since I heard your voice.
Okay.
Charm check.
Okay.
Oh my god.
No. Dude, alright. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude.
Just
She looks at you and kind of puts her hand on her hip and kind of gives a little head nod to the side, like, okay. Where'd you get that fine pelt?
Well, I acquired it from. He was a very strong, powerful Wookiee warrior, and he takes it and unfurls it off his shoulders. Takes a
Okay.
few steps closer and offers it to her. I brought
Nice
it to you
picture.
for a trophy.
He was our mechanic.
The droid. She just looks over at the droid. Oh, he was your mechanic, was he? So
Yes,
he
a
was.
powerful, strong, magnificent Wookiee mechanic.
She's like, perhaps we should talk in my ready room.
Oh yes,
As
of
all the
course.
officers and stuff are like, they skinned their mechanic.
They're all just looking on. They're trying to keep their discipline, but their eyes are looking towards you, and they're getting nervous. The security officers move forward, and the stormtroopers pretty much grab you by the cuff and pull you by his back. So the main deck officers walk through, followed by the security and the protocol droid. They make their way down the hallway here. Okay, so you guys are sitting around a large table. You picture the Death Star table. And she's sitting there, and the officers are standing beside her. And the protocol droid standing behind her. She takes a seat in the chair. And she is so relaxed looking, it's almost like she puts her feet up on the desk, but she doesn't. She would never do that, of course. So she looks at...
Geraldo does. He's leaning back. He puts his feet up on the desk.
She just glares at you with steel eyes.
Geraldo just smiles back.
The officers are like, please take your feet off the desk immediately, sir.
Well, you did say please. And he does so.
She just looks at the whole group. What are we to do with you and your band of misfits?
You mean, your band of misfits?
I don't believe I have anything to do with this. I merely gave you passage based on the fact that you gave us locations of our quarry. Whatever became of our agent, Mr. Borden?
You mean, Marshall Borden?
That's correct. She's like looking at notes on her little comm in front of her. Her little
Well,
console.
since we are in, the question asking, frame of mind, let me, reply with a question of my own. Why was there a large payload of explosives stowed away on my ship?
From my understanding, the explosives were placed there as a countermeasure. You see, had you failed or attempted to remove the items, the explosives would still detonate, giving us the location by throwing up a large amount of a smoke plume, if you will. It was a last resort. I assume you guys did try to attempt to tamper with the package?
Well, to be quite honest, I'm not exactly sure what went down. You see, I was unaware of a disturbance until there was a fight that broke down between Marshal Borden and one of my other crew members, Krell Aldmar.
So she looks towards you. Perhaps someone else would know, she looks towards Riker. You there, with the bad eyes. What is your story? Do you know anything of this?
Listen, I just pilot the ship.
So you're a hired mercenary, then?
Somewhat.
And what are they paying you, mercenary?
Well, I don't believe our pay was discussed upon me boarding the ship, but it was implied I'd be rewarded of some sort.
You
I
were here.
believe the direct statement was more credits than he could fit up his butthole.
Yes. She kind of takes disdain to that vulgarness. She looks over to Miles. And you? Your name, sir? Miles? She's trying to remember your last name. She's scanning through her files for your last name. Here we are, Kangaro. You were lost several years ago. Whatever became of you? You used to be a scout on duty in the Shadowlands. And yet here you are, with this misfit crew.
I'd look her in the eyes and then I'd just say, ambush. We got separated.
Miles, do you still feel empathetic towards the Empire and everything we stand for?
Miles would nod.
Very well then, we shall try to reinstate you. Perhaps we can get you a new uniform? You can let go of the skins?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, he's gonna take them off. And as he takes off his skins, there's just like this old, worn out, dirty, like full of holes, just Empire uniform with like several medals attached to the chest. And he'll just take off like the hooded thing, and then just like stare at his clothes for a minute, and then he won't say anything else.
I commend you, Miles. You shall receive another medal for your duties and you're able to survive. Though
Not to mention his loyalty to your emperor.
Again, Geraldo, talking out of turn. That's twice now. Do I need to incarcerate you?
Only if you punish me personally.
Guard sees
Charm
him.
check.
Yeah, okay. If you fail this, you're being seized.
Yep.
I wanted to despair so bad.
Oh my god!
Damn it!
Oh.
I think the threat, though, is as the stormtroopers, you notice that they're moving in behind you, standing close to you. She gives eyes.
Bead of sweat rolls down his forehead.
Okay, so she looks towards you, but she's like, perhaps not at this moment. The comm on her desk is like, doot-doot-doot. She's like, yes, what is it? Captain, we found a ship coming from the planet's surface. We're tracking it now. Patch it through. So you guys on a holo vid in behind you, you see a vid light up. Zooming in a small identified craft, you can see it starts breaking up out of the thing. It looks like a little spark making its way up. Do you have a track of that? We're tracking it right now, ma'am. Anyways, a little spark gets further off, and then all of a sudden you see it jump into hyperspace. She's like, continue tracking it. She's like, the signal is strong, ma'am. Good, stay on it. She turns off the comm. Friends of yours? They are leaving from the planet's surface, right from the exact site, or within a short distance of where we had picked you up.
Really? The only friends I have are at this table. The others are, I assume, dead.
What about the man with the jacket? And then he'd look at Geraldo.
The man with the... You mean the other stylish coat?
Miles nods.
Krell? Did you see him?
Miles just like stops for a minute and like looks up at the ceiling, thinks, and then he shakes his head. No.
The
Is
protocol
that
droid. The protocol droid. You can hear his like gears moving. Perhaps your memory was being damaged by being lost in the woods for so long.
That's a fantastic suggestion.
Yes, that's probably what it is. Jin just looks towards the droid. Okay. So
That's
she
scary.
begins looking back towards Riker. You need medical attention, I think. Would you like your eyes to be healed, sir? If you're to help us.
Why, of course.
Okay, so as you guys are sitting there, and she goes, there's a mission for all of you. You see, we believe that the Fallen have planned something. With the attack on Moshuda, we believe they're developing something. We need a special operative group. We have many operatives that would be much more talented than your motley crew. But you see, you already have connections to them, don't you?
If you mean that the Fallen that attacked Moshuda, you mean... Geraldo just leans back and pulls his shirt open. And there's the black sun symbol on his chest.
So you're revealing that you're a Black Sun operative?
Well,
Damn.
You open up your shirt and it's like, yachted.
You are doing that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what he's doing. He leans back.
She's like, very well then, I've had enough of him. Seize him and take him to the detention.
Wait. I want to explain. You see, that was branded on me when I was their slave. He closes his shirt.
She's like, all the same, I feel... And her comm's like... She's like... She takes the... She starts reading over the console. Her eyes are darting back and forth, reading some... She starts to get more intense, reading something of great interest. Then she flicks off the console. She puts her elbows on the desk and her fists in front of her mouth, leaning in towards you, her eyes narrow. So what is your game here? She says in an authoritative voice.
Well, I figure that we would never have been in this mess if you had not planted that explosive on us in the first place. However, I feel that we can come to a mutual agreement.
Oh, is that so? You, being a Black Sun operative, and obviously
Slave.
a Wookiee sympathizer.
Wookiee sympathizer.
Oh, you wear a pelt on you. And yet,
Freshly skinned, smells like victory.
we find 7 female and 9 children Wookiees under the decks of your ship with our scanning crew. Were you attempting
You
to
lie.
smuggle them to freedom?
You lie.
Seize him and take him to the detention. And they drag her all off the scene here.
Oh dear.